Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. Today I wanted to make a second part of this video that I posted almost 3 years ago. Damn, it's been a long time. But this time, instead of making highly unlikely and just stupid cards, I've decided to make some cards that will most likely happen in the future of the game. I'm talking about the 120% leads EZAs. If this is just speculation, and these EZAs will most likely not look like this, but I just wanted to give my theories on how these might end up. If you disagree with me, please leave a comment on how you think that these EZAs are gonna be handled. Today I'm looking at the super type leads, and I look at the extreme types in another video. In my opinion, they aren't gonna change much because they are already good as they are. Okay, so before this video starts, I want to say something first. Because of the way that the math was done, all the stats have ended up with many decimals. In order to make this less confusing, I decided to round up the numbers. So basically, if the first decimal is 5 or more, I round up the number to the next number in the numerical axis. Example, if the number is 3.5, I round it up to 4 instead of 3. And if the decimal is less than 5, I round it up to the previous number in the numerical axis. Example, if the number was 3.4, I rounded up to 3 instead of 4. And the stats are going to be shown at 0% in the hidden potential system. Got that? Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Alright, also I wanted to speculate on what the leader skills might end up being. In my opinion, there's two options. Number one, 130% boost for a category and 120% for their respective types. Or 130% boost to the super type and a lower boost for the extreme types. Also, these are not gonna be put in any specific order, just so y'all know. Alright, let's get into the first one, which is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. As I said, I used maths for these, for the stats. Pretty much how they are gonna look very similar to this when their EZAs come. Like very similar, they might even look the same. So HP stat 14,321. Now this is at 0% in the potential system, so it will be like around 19,000 if the cards actually come out, which is really good. Alright, so the thing is that these EZAs already have really high stats, so with the EZA boost they just become insane. So this is the leader skills that I mentioned two options. So leader skill, so the first leader skill is going to be Super SDR types Key 3, HP attack and defense plus 130%. Extreme types Key 3, attack and defense, HP attack and defense plus 100%. Now I don't think that's too OP right now in the game, in the current state of the game, because we have 170% across the boards and 4 key. So I don't think putting two Super SDR types 3 key and 130% should be that bad. And the second leader skill should be Goku's family category Key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 130%. And Super SDR types Key plus 3 HP attack and defense plus 120%. Now, the second leader skill I feel like is more probable to happen, is more realistic in my opinion. Maybe a different category, but definitely those stats boost look pretty okay to me. They might just put SDR types instead of Super SDR types for Key 3 attack and defense, HP attack and defense was 120%, but I can see them doing Super SDR types as well. The super attack causes immense damage, greatly raises defense for 6 turns. Now, before this he had raises defense plus 30% for 6 turns, and I just bumped it up to greatly raises defense for 6 turns. So greatly raises is pretty much 50% boost. So passive, attack plus 150% and defense plus 50%. And a high chance of evading enemy super attack and countering with tremendous power. Now, if you see this, and his passive before this is not that different. I just added 50% more defense. The reason why I didn't, and I put a high chance of evading enemy's attack. The reason why I didn't make this too crazy was because I feel like it might be too OP because of the very high stats. Defense plus 50% should be good because this Goku, as he is right now, he can hit over 2 million attack stats. Even more than 2 million if you put like with supports you can hit up to maybe 3 million attack stats. As he is very good, but he's a glass cannon. He will take a lot of damage. So that greatly raises defense for 6 turns, and the 50% defense should fix that. high chance of evading enemy super attack and countering with tremendous power. That's just the way it is, and now you're countering with tremendous power. Alright, so the next one is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. HP stat 14,807, attack stat 13,319, and defense stat 6,914. Again, really good stats, especially the defense stat with the Rainbow Star would be around 12,000, which is really good. And I feel like the way I designed this unit, it will probably not be this way, but those stats are just really great. The leader skill, the first one is exactly the same as the Goku one. This is just for AGL types. And the second leader skill is again exactly the same, but it's for Vegeta's family, and the second boost is for AGL types. So the super attack causes immense damage to the enemy and greatly lowers attack and defense. Now I know greatly lowering both attack and defense is pretty good. In fact, just greatly lowering attack, because greatly lowering defense is pretty fodder in my opinion, and greatly lowering attack is the one that really matters. I think only it matters in Super Battle Road, because pretty much in every other part of the game you can't really lower attack, except for Infinite Dragon Ball History, the one when you versus Super Warriors. I think there you can also lower attack. So passive is attack and defense plus 120%, exactly the same, and high chance of evading enemy super attack and countering with tremendous power. Now I had this attack and defense plus 130% at first, but I decided to change it to 120 because I thought it was too OP because of the insanely high stats, and his defense would be just off the roof, man. The 12,000 defense is really good, and it might be even summonable LR level if we're getting real here. So defense, I didn't really change much on this guy, except for the greatly lowering attack and defense and the high chance. But I still think, just with the stats boost and super attack level 15, he's probably gonna be incredibly good. Alright, so let's move on to the next one, which is gonna be Super Gogeta in this case. So what I want to do with this Gogeta is to replace the STR one, which I mean shouldn't be that hard to do. The STR one hits incredibly hard, but I figured he's really not great in the defensive department. So that's why I tried to make this guy a little bit better. I mean, okay, so the leader skill is the same as Goku's and Vegeta's, it's the same as the previous ones, it just has the int types. Second leader skill, Otherworld Warriors. Now the reason why I made Otherworld Warriors was because there's only one Otherworld Warrior leader in the game, and he's good, but he's the only one in the game. I feel like we should have another one. I didn't want to make this a fusion category leader because there's like 17 million fusion category leaders in the game right now, so I guess Otherworld Warriors works. So for the super attack, causes immense damage to the enemy and greatly lowers attack and defense. Again, that's really good, and that's almost the same as Gogeta's, as Vegeta's. But this is, I feel like it would make sense if they do this, because he already just normally lowers attack and defense. So if he greatly lowers attack and defense, then that's pretty neat. Passive attack and defense plus 120% and attacks effective against all types, which is something that pretty much every Gogeta in the game has, except for the free-to-play one. Oh, he actually does have it, just under some conditions, but only I think SSJ4 Gogeta doesn't have that ability, which I mean I don't mind, because I mean SSJ4 Gogeta I'm never gonna use him, he's really not that good. Attack and defense was 120%. Now when I first made this I was like, damn, should EZA be that big of a boost, like a defense plus 120%? But because I made Vegeta the way I did, I'm gonna make this guy as well like that. I mean 10,000 defense plus like additional 120% defense. I don't think it really should be that bad. I mean I shouldn't make him too OP in my opinion, because the LR Gogeta also has this almost the same passive, but his stats are infinitely higher and he's really good, but I don't think he's the greatest. So let's move to the next one. So next up we have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. HP stat 13,272, attack stat 13,777, and defense stat 6,636. Again, really good stat. This is the case with all these 120% leads. They all have good stats as they are right now, and these YEYEs will just make them insane. Also, one thing I didn't really think about is that they might not even give out these YEYEs for these units. They might just go back to all their crappier units before they give these guys these YEYEs, because they are already good. They are not all good, but something like Cooler and SSJ4 Vegeta, they are already really great. I feel like it wouldn't make sense to give them easy YEYEs yet, but I don't know, they might do anything at this point. I'm not surprised that they do that. So the first leader skill that I considered was physical Q3, 30%, 130% to stats, then extreme phys Q3 and 100% to stats. These are just all the same, but for the second leader skill, I thought of doing special pose. Now the reason why I did special pose and not, I don't know, youth or something like that is because we just got a new special pose leader, and I don't really see them releasing another special pose leader for quite a while. So this makes sense to release him now, to have two special pose leaders, one of them being a summonable Dokkan Fast unit right now, and the other one being a really old summonable Dokkan Fast unit that probably most people have, just so people can run this category. I mean, it's not really good, but at least people can run it, you know? So super attack, massive raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage to the enemy. Now, what did I do here? If you don't know, I mean, you probably do if you're watching this video, Gotenks really has a gimmicky super attack. Now, in order to make this slightly better, I didn't really add anything to the super attack. I just made the 11 key super a 12 key super attack, and I made it, I mean, because it's a 12 key super attack, it will have a 150% multiplier. And also great raise attack for 1 turn. I removed all the other super attacks. You know, he can do this super attack can also be activated at 9 key, and can also be activated at 12 key. You know, I just removed all the super attacks. I feel like they're too gimmicky, and really nobody is a fan of that. And this Gotenks leaders, I mean, this Gotenks links are really good. He has a lot of key links, so it's in the fusion team it's almost impossible to give him a 12 key, 11 key super attack. So yeah, this is what I did. I think they should do this as well. So the passive skill is attack and defense was 100%. What I do here, I took away 20% attack and just gave him 100% defense, because I feel like attack plus 120% and then defense plus 80%, it doesn't sound good. So this is what I did, you know, and if this is all they changed, he will still be much better because of the stats, and he'll probably be hitting a lot harder than he did with the 120% attack. But that's not all I did. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 70% for 10 turns instead of turn. As he is now, he gets attack plus 60% and lowers his own defense for 30% for 7 turns. I made the 10 turns to last longer. I just removed all the defense lowering because it's really annoying. Gotenks hits incredibly hard, but he also gets hit really hard. Let's go to the next one. The next one is Super Saiyan 3 Goku Angel. His HP stat is 13,430, his attack stat is 14,346, and his defense stat is at 5,846. So the first super attack I considered was, you know, the usual, but instead of making on the second leader skill, I did Super Saiyan 3 category. Now there's currently 2, I would like to say, categories. I mean, let me double check this actually, because I have no idea. I think there's 2. And yes, I was right. There's only 2 main leaders for this category, and there's 5 sub-leaders. But I mean, the sub-leaders are kind of fodder. So that's why I made this Super Saiyan 3. There's only 2 leaders for that, and I feel like another one wouldn't hurt. And plus, he would be considered a sub-lead, but that's a really good sub. In my opinion, everything above 130% is a real leader. And then super attack type Q plus 3, attack and defense 20%, the usual. super attack causes immense damage with a medium chance to stun the enemy. As he is right now, he causes immense damage with a rare chance to stun, so I just bumped it up to medium. It's really, I think it's like he had a 20% chance to stun, now he has a 30% chance to stun. And one thing I found kind of weird about this is that every 120% lead, the super ones, they all had a 150% 12 key multiplier. This guy had a 140%. I don't know why they did that, but I guess they did. So we have a passive. So the passive skill is attack plus 120% and defense plus 80%. Now this looks a little bit weird, but once you get to the next part, attack and defense is 30% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So he theoretically can get 150% from rainbow key spheres, which is really good. But like the chances of getting 5 rainbow key spheres is extremely low. So I guess more usually we'll get the 120% attack and defense for rainbow key spheres. Now you would have to make the team around this guy. I mean, not make the team, you would have to have orb changes in the team. Like SDR Goten is on movie heroes, and this guy's also on movie heroes, so you could run him there and have a lot of rainbow key spheres. Also the Tech Goku is also on movie heroes, and you can make this happen because he makes rainbow key spheres. Now his passive, it's different from the other ones. I feel like more unique than the other ones. I still think giving him 80% defense at start of turn, it's way too good. I mean, it should probably be like 50% defense because of all the defense he gets from the other part of his passive, but it should be fine. Because as you can see, his defense stat is much lower than Vegeta's and Gogeta's. So I made it this way, and I don't think really it should be a big problem, and it shouldn't be too overpowered in my opinion. So that was it pretty much for all these units. So if you guys have any ideas on how these might turn out, then please leave a comment, and definitely make sure while you're down there, leave a like and subscribe as well. And I will see all you guys in a different video. Bye.